As much as I would love to just get up here and just talk about hair and all things beauty and have fun, I've been moved to talk about something that is on my heart. I had a few comments over the past few days and the events that have followed that have left me with a few things on my mind. And of course, I'm going to share my own client that has had some damage as a result of not having your hair cut in a way that would assess damage, meaning a blowout. We were doing solely cutty cut, curly cuts, and um, and so as her stylist, I appreciate her trust in me to know that I did know how to assess it. Um, I was mindful of the fact that we have been on a course correction since last year and that we are experiencing this together, but she's been gracious with me, as probably a few other clients as well during this transition. And I appreciate that wholeheartedly, that they didn't lose trust or faith in me or anything like that. This has been a very difficult road, and let me explain why. I did speak to other stylists, um, but the reception was not good. And even now, I have had a stylist basically say that I was putting out Cut It Kinky for trial and jury or judge and jury. And that was very hurtful um, because she said that she once looked up to me. And I asked her what changed, and she shared her thoughts and whatnot. But the fact that she could not understand that this isn't just a one dimensional issue, that in fact it's multi layered, and that I by myself stood alone by speaking up about my experience and also trying to be balanced and respectful at the same time to tell what was going on from my perspective. That's what made my channel a lot different. And um, I had to give credit where credit was due. I had to thank those that were involved in revealing the issues. I wish it had come from us. It should have come from the curl community, but it didn't. However, at this juncture, um, I'm ready to move forward because the past 2 years have been quite difficult. I think I messed around and made it look easy. um, I just did what I knew was right to do in the eyes of God. And that's what has prompted my response, not anything else. And so I just want to say thank you to those that have subscribed to my channel, that appreciate the value that I hope that I am bringing, that I put forth to give good education, um, and not to necessarily be swayed by the emotion of the dilemma, because it is emotional. I can't even imagine the angst of the consumers. I cannot imagine the angst of the other stylists that kept quiet because of fear of being attacked, all of these things. And I don't believe in, we can't carry the world because we didn't do everybody's hair. My first sense of loyalty is not to Cut It Kinky, it's not to the other stylists and how they feel. I don't care. What I care about are the consumers, and first and foremost, my clients, the clients that sit in my chair. That's where my loyalty lies after God in this situation. And so I just wanted to make sure that I set the record straight on when you're traveling a road alone, it can be so, it can be very heavy. There were nights that I was up talking to my husband, I was praying. It, it was a lot. It was a lot to uncover myself and to address it with clients that were confused. They were like, wait a minute, you were cutting our hair like this for this amount of time, and they had valid questions. And I could have just gone to a natural hairstylist and done this, this, and this. And I said, you might not have got the same results even with the natural hair stylist. You might have got better, or you might not have had as good. Fair enough. um, but one thing this has taught me is, number one, to keep your integrity. My reputation will outlast any hairstyle, any hair care. People will remember me for who I was, how I treated them, all of the things that we talked about in my chair, the love that I tried to give, and that I treated them how I would like to be treated. Because, Mishka, she's high maintenance. She really is. But that's the legacy that I want to leave behind. I would love to be a great educator for stylists if that opportunity arises. And it's not something that I just am looking for, because there's a great responsibility in that. And so far, I have learned with great responsibility, with great privilege comes great responsibility, ethically and morally. And yeah, that's a lot. So, you know, I just want to do the best that I can with the knowledge that I have, and will continue to grow and learn and provide that for my paying clients. But I also have some very beautiful and supportive internet clients, as I call them. And one of them gave mention to me right here and almost brought me to tears. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I did shed a few. But anyway, the, the thought of it is that I feel seen, even when some of my colleagues are not necessarily feeling like I was as loyal as they felt like I should be. I spoke truth. And me speaking my truth was actually confirmed by some very key people in this. And I'm okay. I'm okay. It was something else I was going to tell y'all. Oh, let me edit this. Oh, yeah. I had to basically help my client to see the value of why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing now, and show proof as to how it was easier for me to see, easier for me to assess, and I had to beg her to let me blow dry her hair. That was a task, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, dang, okay, this was a real solid conversation we're having here on this here sofa. But I had to take it. And I had to take a lot of other stuff that we won't get into. You know, it's hard being the first one, let me tell you. But what I've learned is that we're always learning. I will continue to learn, and that it's made me a better stylist. Because, baby, ooh, child, let me get a little bit more education, a little bit more. I might have something for the stylist. I don't know. It's a lot. But I am not afraid. In fact, I'm inspired to be even better. So enjoy the video. As you can see, my client is growing out some old color. She does have thinning around the perimeter. That's the majority of her damage. She has different lengths, as you can see, growing throughout her hair as a result of just grays coming in, and that's just a natural progression of hair. She does have some mild breakage, and you can see that she is a wash and goer through and through. She loves her wash and goes. The area that suffered the most damage, as you can see, is the perimeter. That's where her hair is finest. A cut done in a blow dry state can always be tweaked when it's in its curly state if she wanted more shaping. So it's not a deal breaker that you get your hair done in a blow dry state. If you want more shaping, you can get it done. Yeah, it's not an issue. Not an issue at all. So we're gonna take it to the back and go ahead and get her. Look how dense this hair is compared to your last visit. Who said fine hair can't thicken up? For right now. And so most of the time, though, I feel with a lot of the clients, if they know for sure what it is that they're supposed to do, those are the very rare instances that they just go outside of that. People are very used to doing a regimen now, and so it will yield either good results or not the greatest results.
I mean, at this point, we got good results.
We got good results. 6 months. 6 months since your last trim, and I've maybe seen 2 or 3 splits, and you've been washing and going. No protective styling at all.
No braids, no nothing.
No braids, no nothing.
Just at home care.
Just good home care. Very well, very good. And I'm literally just dusting your ends. Yeah, and this is just a 6-month mark, and I've only had to dust your ends because when I first did your hair back in July, I gave you a major cut. And the density of your hair has really changed.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're. Yeah. So I am looking for us to explore you to going into more protective styling to get to where.
I'm gonna think on that one.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm gonna really think on that one.
You gotta meditate on it, girl.
Yeah, I gotta meditate on that one.
Yes. And see, the fine hair, she has fine hair, and I would say medium density. And she's very silky. She has a very silky surface texture. She has 70% shrinkage. Normal, I would say normal porosity in her hair. And for fine hair girlies, what they will experience when they have good hair care and proper techniques and good instructions, good home instructions, and they actually follow them, they will see that their hair starts to retain density, to become more dense. And we're looking for density, which is harder to obtain than length right now, although she does have both. Her density is on it. Make sure I'm connecting something. And so I've seen completely a change. I just couldn't believe it had been 6 months. That was, I kept saying, I'm like,
I didn't think I had a whole lot of breakage because when I conditioned it, it was easy to comb out. I didn't have a lot of hair in the comb.
And even your ends, you could. How did you know that it was time for a trim? Because what was your indications besides a time frame?
Really nothing. It was just that I just felt like it was time.
But before, would you start to have any other signs that it was time for your?
Yeah, it'll tangle up as you comb it. You know how you comb it from the root, the ends to the roots. It'll be a little tangled up.
But you didn't experience that this time.
I didn't really experience that.
And so that just goes to show, when she allowed me to do what needed to be done to cut the hair to the potential, not the potential, we want to give it the potential that it needs, but to the point that it absolutely had 0 chances for unraveling, the splitting. We were able to really take that hair and set it on a course that if she followed the regimen, it would be very little that she would have to do thereafter. So this is what we call, she did a repair cut, but then we are in maintenance phase. So what I am removing from her hair today is what I would call less than ½ an inch of hair. And I'm seeing a beautiful display of response. And so it's a few things that I'm going to add to her regimen. And like I said, this wasn't even 100% followed. The regimen wasn't 100% in place for her, because sometimes what we hear and what we think and what we do when we get home be a little different.
Yeah.
But even with that, we are still in a good place. Now in the front, because we have more of a manipulation, we're usually trying to make that front do things that it probably can't do off the bat, pulling and tugging, trying to make length appear where it's not quite there yet, because she has 70% shrinkage. How much hair do you think she's gonna have to grow to get this level of length in its curly state? 2 to 3 times someone that's in with their hair straightened in its curly state, they're going to have. And you see, this is just weathering right here. So in this front versus the middle, the back, and the sides, she's losing a little bit more of the length, and we're going into about 1 inch right in the very front, because this is a high manipulation area, and this is the area that is more fragile. When you have more fragile hair, you have to be more gentle with that hair. Those ends require a lot more moisture. They need that flexibility, pliability that comes from moisturizing products. And she understands that with her hair, because she loves the wash and go, she's still contemplating wearing more protective styles. She understands that her rate of retention is going to be slower than someone that does more protective styling. And when you understand that, but you still have a good regimen in place, Just making sure that I got everything I felt. I knew I saw that. Ouch. So these are the things that I think are important. And fine-haired girls have been told that they just gonna have to be like that. Their hair cannot become more dense, and that's the furthest thing from the truth.
We got proof.
We got proof. And so our goals is to give the ends the love. Felt like I missed something in here. And so, yeah, I'm cutting it back where it needs to be again, to maintain the integrity of the hair. So we're not just style focused. Our goal is to maintain the integrity. Because if the health of your hair is maintained, the style is effortless. That is my mission statement. If you notice on my website, that's what it says. And even more so when we have found in recent discoveries about what products that need to be adjusted. We need to always have them, because your hair can change. Your body changes every day, so why wouldn't your hair to some extent? So when you come in for your checkup, we're clarifying what you've been using, how you've been using it, and adjusting as we go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Can't even get this hair to stay up in my hand. So. A lot of people say, oh, she's going over it too much. Honey, I cut backwards, forwards, every which way, because you can miss if you're not thorough. And so I am very thorough, and I don't do anything unnecessarily. So y'all can miss me with all that. She cut too much, this and that and the other, because you can't assess nothing through this camera. And as long as me and my client agree to what needs to be done, then that's really all that matters, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. That part.
Okay. They love the company. They called me bald headed last time I was cutting your hair. They said, I don't trust no bald headed stylist. Whatever.
I guess they say you get scissors happy.
Yeah. That's how I had to stand on them. I had to show them like, psh, I done had hair. But I bet you something, I'll have some receipts. You know, one thing about it, good hair care, it will show in a very short amount of time how well it's taken care of. Horrible hair care, styling focus, as we have learned, will also show in a very short amount of time. So thorough. And that way, rest assured, 6 months from now, baby. And with the new added little tweaks to our regimen, ooh, child. She said she gonna silk her hair when? Next year, when it's cold again?
In December.
In December. So we're gonna do a length check in December, and we're gonna keep doing the things we've been doing. But I am, like I said, very happy.
I'm surprised how much it grown.
Yeah, I need to pull up what, when we first cut it. And you had more of an issue probably on those sides and in the front. That was our biggest struggles. But density comes before length. That's what we're chasing, is the density of the hair. But yeah. And I love that even though your hair is fine, it has the ability to be, we're not see-through. We on the come up. There you go. There you go. Don't act up. Love it. Very well. Girl, look up.